gentlemen, turn your speakers up. It's time for the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast. A podcast discussing all things AEW and WWE. Oh, yeah! Let's meet the hosts. First, a man hailing from the hub city in Indiana. He goes by @TooSweetKyle on Twitter. The host, Kyle Gagliardi. And your co-host, hailing from the Valley of Lake Tahoe. He goes by @JimTuck89 on Twitter. Jim Tucker. And last but not least, hailing from the cornfield somewhere in Indiana, the full-time part-timer, Ian Garavaglia. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram @PodOnTheMark.
What is going on, everyone? You're listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, hosted by the Marks, for the Marks, and I'm your host, Mr. OTM, Kyle Gagliardi. And I just wanted to take a second to wish everybody a very happy new year, because I am joined once again by my good friend Jim Tucker, or as I like to call him, Tucky!
Whoa, Happy New Year, Kyle. What's happening?
It's a new year, new us, I guess.
No, same us.
Same us.
New year, same us, same great community joining us in the chat week in and week out, duking it out for the MVM award. It's you, it's me, it's the full-time part-timer Ian Garavaglia at Ian Garavaglia.
What's up and Happy New Year? How we doing, boys? I kind of hit that actually. Yeah, I'm good. I'm doing good. Yes?
I'm doing great, because if you can't see right now on the screen, I am wearing this wonderful Notre Dame Fighting Irish jersey.
Kind of ass.
I think you don't like it. You don't
I like
it.
I kind of like it.
I think it's the font for me.
Yeah, it's more of a retro one.
It is. It's unique, and I love it. And go Irish.
Rough night for the ND haters indeed, Mr. Tony in the chat. Yeah, they took care of business tonight. They're headed to the Final Four. We're starting on time. It's a new year. Same us. Shut up and sit down, as Tim Vicious would say. Tucky. Oh, hey, hold on. I do have to address this. Wait a minute. Thought you were an IU guy. Once again, I'm going to explain this for the last time. It makes a lot of sense to me. I don't know about you guys, but grew up going to Notre Dame games, rooting for Notre Dame with my uncles. Went to school at Indiana University, so I put my alma mater before my favorite team.
You're preaching to the choir, because my mom's alma mater is IU, and I watched IU basketball my whole life, and I watched Notre Dame football my whole life. So I was like, well, the IU Notre Dame game, I had no idea who to cheer for. I don't love Notre Dame, but it's who I like throughout my whole life.
Both teams have fun kind of game.
I tweeted that. I said that.
Yeah.
Okay, he said it makes sense. I thought he was going to rip me, because I get a lot of hate for rooting for Notre Dame football and IU, but we're not here to talk about football, gentlemen. Like we said earlier, it's a New Year, Tucky. How was your New Year's over there in Nevada?
Dude, for the third or fourth straight year, I was asleep at midnight. Mista was kind of savage this year, though, because I was awake at 11:40, and I said, I only have to stay awake for 20 more minutes. Woke up at 1 a.m. on the dot, panicked, like, it's New Year's. It's New Year's. And she's like, it was an hour ago. And she gave me shit for sleeping, but didn't try to wake me up. So there is a kind of mid-card beef between Mist and I right now. But had ramen with some friends. It was a good, kind of a chill New Year's. And now we're just dealing with it. Augie's been feeling like shit lately. So we're in it with that right now. The sleep department is getting squash mashed right now. So
it's tough.
Yeah, but life is good. Life is good. I go back to school Monday, so I got a few more days of break. Life is good. We played baseball outside today.
So
it was cold.
Temperature
60.
Oh,
God,
man, that's
so
fine.
nice.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So
Must be rough out there, then.
We've got 50s coming for the next 2 weeks at least, but we have tryouts on the 15th of February. So I'm nervous
Sweet
that
snow today.
I know. Yeah. It feels a lot like the first year I was out here. We didn't have a game canceled. We were scrimmaging in January. So it's baseball season's right around the corner. So a lot of good. And the fitness season group chat is alive and well. At Too Sweet Kyle, at Ian Garavaglia, one of the cornerstones of the On the Mark Wrestling podcast world, Ryan Vogus. A lot of guys.
Pretty big.
Tyler Walk, the champion of the Main Event Wrestling Fantasy Football League.
Oh, I forgot. I didn't even acknowledge that and put that on social media. So This is my official announcement. Congratulations to my cousin, Tyler Walk, for winning the Main Event Fantasy League. You win nothing.
The runner-up was a great guy, I hear. I didn't even realize I was in the championship, so that's kind of how it went. I did check. I started guys every week in and out, but
you kept up with
better
it.
than
That's
I
all
did.
we asked. Yeah, Ian didn't do too well.
When Christian McCaffrey goes out and doesn't play till the 8th week, I was like, I don't really want to do this.
Yeah. Ian, were you partying on New Year's? I know you're a little younger.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't supposed to, and then about 10 o'clock rolled up, and my friends who I went to college with, who lived near me, they said, hey, why don't you come downtown and come to the Brothers in downtown?
Yeah.
And if people know Brothers, I know you guys do, pretty big bar franchise around these parts, and Indy is no different, because I guess it's the original Brothers down there.
Yeah.
Waited an hour and a half outside in the rain, and the cover charge was $50, so...
Don't miss that.
We got in there.
Those days.
We got in there and we drank. Ubered both ways.
There we go.
Things were popping large then in Indianapolis.
Popping large till about 4:30 a.m. when I laid down in my bed.
Oh, to be young again. Am I right, chat? Fuck.
I was in bed at 12:20. I watched the lame ass Chicago New Year's show, and I'm like, all right, that's enough. I'm out.
Tuck, I do want to ask you just really quick. You did mention you were awake at 11:40, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then you said, okay, I just have to make it till midnight. What happened in those 20 minutes that just clocked you out? That's impressive.
Well, you both know. You know.
Yeah.
The baby?
Oh. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Nope.
Baby, right? Baby?
Nope. The Earth.
Earth. The Earth. Yeah,
Yep.
I got you. Great Brown Hope stayed up till 4:30 playing Uno No Mercy with his 9-year-old nephew. Love that. Good for him. And Vogus wants to know any prospects that night, young one.
We leave it to the crowd. I don't. No answer. No comment.
Plead the fifth. That's smart.
Plead the fifth. Yeah.
We do eventually got to talk. Wait, you want to acknowledge Tim's comment here, Tucky?
Yeah, Tim, come on out. A lot of people doing the Tahoe double, skiing in the morning and playing 9 holes of golf in the afternoon down in the valley. A lot of people love to do that. They call it the Tahoe double.
That doesn't sound like a bad weekend.
That's pretty cool.
No, dude, everybody loves skiing and snowboarding out here. I'm like, we sled down highway overpasses in Indiana. There are no hills. So
I used to go sledding behind a Home Depot, I think, and that was
hell yeah, dude.
a big deal.
That's it. That was it.
That's the Midwest for you. But hey, not enough snow to go sledding right now. But guys, before we talk about Monday Night Raw on Netflix happening next week, and we're going to briefly discuss a little bit of what we thought about AEW Worlds End, don't forget, it's the same thing as last year, folks. If you go to the onthemarkwrestlingpodcast.com, we have some fantastic merch available there, Tucky. Why don't you say a few of our designs that we have available on that website?
Well, on that tapestry right behind you, which is available on the markwrestlingpodcast.com, we've got our NWO inspired logo. We've got some other t-shirts. You can get it on a coffee mug, crop tops, leggings. I think we have leggings too, don't we?
We used to. I think I pulled those.
Okay.
Oh, dang it.
So sorry, Bill
yeah.
Moss. No leggings for your mailman runs with the On the Mark logo on them for you, buddy. But yeah, a lot of good stuff, and every purchase helps the podcast. So on the markwrestlingpodcast.com, new year, new merch. Go cop some.
Speaking of new merch, thanks for reminding me.
You're
didn't
welcome.
know to say that, but you did the right thing. I plan on this weekend, since I have a little bit of extra time on my hands, to dabble into new merch designs. So be on the lookout potentially next week on our website for new OTM and main event merch. Ian, I got to get you to figure out a design. I feel like you're the creative one of the group. You did the pop and large, didn't you?
I was about to say. I feel bad for Tuck. I would love a pop and large.
The chat
shirt.
does not defend me vehemently.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm not defending myself.
The OTM logo, the tattoo design, every graphic. Okay, acknowledge me. Put your ones up in the chat. Acknowledge me. Like I don't come up with a logo. The ECW shirt, the Bryan Danielson appreciation shirt, the Ian shirt was a fan.
The Bryan Danielson one was my idea, by the way.
Shout out to the greatest network in wrestling podcasting history. So, yeah, Main Event Wrestling Network. I did have a bunch of sketches on that, and I did take a picture of that. I have receipts.
I have to go.
I have a giant door.
Tank top design.
Oh, okay.
The retro logo on a tank top.
Yeah, that's true.
Nothing
That is
better.
true. That's a
Nothing
good
better.
Yeah, that is a nice piece of merchandise right there. And guys, if you want to check out all the good things happening over at the Main Event Wrestling Network, make sure you give us a follow on all socials. That's including TikTok, because apparently it has not been banned yet. At @mainevent_net is where you can check out all that good stuff. New year, so if you're interested in becoming a part of the network, Ian, there's plenty of things that people can do. Why don't you name off a few of the things if they're interested?
For the Main Event Wrestling Network, well, you could be a podcaster like us, or you could be a blogger like the Great Brown Hope, or you could be a YouTuber like Mr. Tim Vicious. There are a lot of things you could do, because as we were talking about, we need artwork as well. So if you are an artiste or want to proclaim yourself as the most creative, because we're still in debate of that. I think it's a really tight race between me and Tucky now. But if you would like to take the pedestal and be the most creative for the network and create some designs, you will be getting money from that. It's not gonna. We're not stealing money from you. If you create it and you sell it, and we help you sell it, all you.
Well, not all you. I'm sure we'll work out some percentages there, but we can have those conversations in.
It was an off-script upsell him.
That's okay. I like
Nothing
the
to
pitch,
write.
Ian.
Nothing to write.
That's how you motivate people to do something. We got Derek Vogus in the house. He said, "Sorry, I'm late." He was making some dog food. What was he eating? The dog food?
No, he's a dog.
Sounds
How
like
do you
he
make
treats his
dog food? Do
well.
you just scoop it?
Well, I mean, if you go wet, you could do a blend. Some guys do a wet and dry blend, a little bit of crunch
that's true.
texture.
True.
You can feed your dog a breast of chicken. Maybe he's cooking. I don't know, but
Maybe he is.
a guy like Dirk.
Yeah, it's Dirk Vogus. That's a pretty good name, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not working.
Well, anybody named Dirk sounds like a stand-up individual.
What a name, right? Dirk Van Fleet.
Definitely felt like a bad promo there.
I tell you what, hot start here. We already
Say
got
the
a
line,
box.
and the music cuts in late. It's just kind of.
I tried. I
you
had the
did.
comment pulled
You got
up.
it.
It was a lot of work, but Great Brown Hope said throwing it out there. But if anyone is into wrestling cards or wrestling figures, we could use some solid content on the Main Event Wrestling Network.
know a
And
wrestling
the Great Brown Hope's the
figure guy.
editor of the blog.
Oh, dope!
What'd you say?
I said I know a wrestling figure guy.
Oh yeah. How many you got behind you?
Those are figures?
I think I'm at 170.
Oh my gosh.
I think you should make it 171 right after this podcast.
I think you should bring
What?
back box breaks.
Ooh.
I've kind of been floating on cards right now because, but Topps just redid the license. That pause.
I'm sorry, that comment.
as well as Cope. Yeah, I agree.
Cool.
Yeah, I've been spending a lot more money on figures right now. Waiting on my CM Punk Larry the Dog action figure on the way.
Oh, you got
Zombie
that?
Taylor, I did. Yeah, excited about that.
Did you end up getting the Teenage Mutant Ninja ones, the New Day?
I've got Seth Rollins. That's
Was
the
he
only
like
one I have.
Splinter or something?
I don't know.
That's pretty cool.
Maybe I'll do a blog on it.
Anyways.
Or like the Great Brown Hope said, you could do a video review. We got options. We definitely got options at the Main Event Wrestling Network. But yeah, we had a pay-per-view this past week, and I didn't get the opportunity to watch it live, but I believe my co-host did, or at least Ian did. Tuck, did you watch it live?
Yes, sir.
You were live. AEW Worlds End is in the books. Once again, I wasn't live, so I watched that back about, I think, 2 days after the fact. And, overall, I would say it was a very good show. I thought, it's about what we expect, Tuck. We talk about it all the time. Week to week, you can probably miss a few episodes of Dynamite and Collision and still be okay. But I thought as a whole, it was a pretty solid pay-per-view. I'm not going to sit here and say it was pay-per-view of the year, but I enjoyed it. What were your overall thoughts on it?
Yeah, B 85, 85, 83, just a strong show. And I can't really put a finger on what it was missing. But we had some good matches. I liked the tournament semifinals into finals deal. I liked the chaos in the main event. You get the Omega pop like we talked about. So a lot of good.
I think what it was missing was a surprise because I don't think it was necessarily surprising. I think the most surprising thing was the Continental
Copeland?
Classic. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, that's a return, but we kind of figured it was going to happen at some point.
You're
and they
talking
waited.
results.
Yeah, results of matches, actual matches. Like the Continental Classic, this was the show for the Continental Classic, and I thoroughly enjoyed every single match. It just wasn't necessarily shocking. I kind of wanted to see a title change of some sort, and we didn't get a single one of those. So that was my only issue.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that Okada held on to that title and won the tournament. But then again, at the same time, he has been labeled on commentary as like the best tournament wrestler of all time. So I guess we probably should have seen it coming because Tuck and I thought we were going to get Will Ospreay versus Ricochet in the final, Ian.
No, I mean, it was kind of like a title versus streak kind of feel to it. It was the guy that's really good at doing matches like this, battling the hottest guy in the world right now. So I like the entire storyline going in for the Continental Classic. It made sense for either one to win, but having Okada win the championship again against Ospreay, against a guy like Ospreay, kind of re-solidifies him and kind of nudges us saying, hey, he's still Okada. He's still really, really good at what he does. So maybe this breathes another life into the title or just him in general.
Well, you got Omega's the one that brings it down. They've got to stare down. Like you want to make that Continental title like that could become the Intercontinental Championship level in WWE. Like how many great wrestlers have held that title. Putting Omega in the picture, I think, makes that pretty interesting. And I felt like Omega was going to come back, but in that spot, nothing might happen, but that Omega Okada would be a good feud.
Well, Omega too, they just teased it on Dynamite last night that he is returning next week to Dynamite. So I don't really know what that means, but obviously I think the writing's on the wall that he's going to be facing Okada here soon, and we know the history between those two men. It just didn't happen inside of AEW. So Ian, I think it's going to be really cool for us because, like I said, we know the history between these two guys, but I don't think you or myself have actually sat down and enjoyed a feud between Okada and Omega, and now we get a chance to do so.
I want to say I actually have. I think I've watched one match of theirs live because I think it was one of the Wrestle Kingdoms, but I could be completely making that up. I might have watched it the morning after because it was probably like 4 o'clock in the morning. But yeah. I do want to mention, I think I know when this match is going to happen, and it's going to be at All In Texas. I mean, every single time they've had a segment, the camera has stared at the All In London or in Texas banner every time. I watch it back every single time it has. And again, it's not that long. I think it's in July. So that's
7 months. That's an eternity, dude, in wrestling. What?
Yeah. You really think they could stretch it that long?
I think that's their plan. I'm not the one doing it.
If you launch it at Revolution, then you could get a trilogy out of it that culminates.
It's true.
You could do a March, May, July thing. Do they have a pay-per-view in May? Yeah, Double or Nothing.
Yeah. That's probably where it's going to be, Benny, and that would make a lot more sense.
Yeah, I completely agree. I'm stating what I saw. I promise you, every time they have had the segment, it is panned at the All In banner. So I don't know what it means. Maybe it does build up to that point.
That's a funny comment from Bill. Let's just go back to it. Hey, it's working, so hey, why not try it again? With Zachariah stopping by, he said he loves the WWE talk, Jim. He had no idea that you're in the WWE. Well, now he knows. Oh,
my man. That's a blast from the past right there. Take me back to the high school days. Good friend back in high school. Great dude. Yeah, dude.
Follow the comment.
We're into it. Thanks for joining us for sure. Can I say something about the doctor's picture? For the longest time, I thought it was a dude in a flat bill wearing Oakley's looking out.
Oh my God, so did I.
I did for a while as well.
No, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
It's a dude and
it's
a shark.
And a shark.
Tony's in a shark. Also, I don't believe this comment. Where's the punchline? When is it coming? Ian, there's no way he believes that AEW Worlds End, but it's his favorite pay-per-view of 2024.
What a character development for Mr. Tony Cock over the year. Congrats to you, finally opening up to another company.
There is something I didn't like, guys. Why didn't Adam Cole win?
I didn't. That was the only match I didn't actually watch.
Feud. I just don't care about MJF and Adam Cole anymore, Todd.
Well,
I just don't.
Okay, I think I'm an Adam Cole body shamer.
It's hard not to.
I mean, to be fair, it's a fair critique.
I'm bigger than him.
I don't know. You probably are.
Dude, and he's like, I don't know, dude. MJF had to win.
MJF's also moving on, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm happy it's over. Genuinely happy it's over.
When it felt brief, too, and Bill, that might have been intentional. They might have just said, we got to get this out of the way. We got to have the match. Just get it out of the way. End it here, and we all move on. Because now it seems like Adam Cole, the Undisputed Kingdom, is basically just what the Undisputed Era was in NXT, which is fine with me because that was my favorite version of Adam Cole in professional wrestling. So we'll see what's to come.
Adam Cole just needs to be a heel and stop trying to be a babyface because Adam Cole is not a babyface. He is a heel, and that's when he is the best. I know they have a lot of heels in AEW, but that injury for Adam Cole kind of screwed everything. MJF as a babyface was awesome. I mean, he's amazing as a heel, obviously. But if these roles were reversed and MJF was still the babyface, never lost that babyface rub, oh my God, this feud would be completely different.
It would feel a lot bigger.
And Adam Cole would probably be the biggest heel in AEW.
I don't remember Cole being so small till his current AEW run. He seemed very toned when he was in NXT. And I know he was battling some health issues, wasn't he, as of late? I think it was last year, or maybe it was 2023 or something where he lost a lot of weight because he was very sick. So obviously I don't want to sit here and totally body shame someone, especially if they had, that condition. But yeah, I mean, that's a fair critique, Tuck. Visually, he doesn't scream pro wrestler. He doesn't pass the eye test.
It could be a contrast of styles too. Like I feel like he should. I think he could become a heel and use that to his advantage. I think it. I don't know that his fighting style or his wrestling style matches his body type. I guess
that's fair.
I like Adam Cole.
Agreed.
I think we all do. It's just I think that was a fair take. I know I've seen a lot of it.
One of the cool things, baby.
One half of the Wrestling Junkies podcast. Your dad, or formerly your dad. I don't know if he still is your dad. Is in the chat.
Well,
New Year, new dad. Oh, weird.
There's a joke there. There's a joke there.
I'm not gonna say that on Facebook. It's not the place. I feel bad critiquing my dude. No, and the spray tan. Yeah, and we won't body shame Adam Cole anymore, but. I do want to talk a little bit about Mercedes Moné successfully retaining her TBS title. Once again, those two absolutely killed that match. It was not as good as the first one, in my opinion. I do see a lot of people saying they liked it more, but it doesn't take anything away from it. Those two women know what the hell they're doing. But my question to you, Ian, is do you think we are getting a third match between these two?
I think we are, but I think it's going to take some more time. I want to see Chris Statlander kind of go. I know we've seen it a million times, but again, Chris Statlander is one of those that are really good on the chase, so I don't think she's going to lose any steam if she comes back for the title, obviously. But I just want to point out Mercedes Moné is actually starting to click with me a little bit. I know, Kyle, me and you were talking before the show, but Tuck, I would like to get your thoughts. Is this heel run and this title run starting to get you a little bit with Mercedes?
Well, that video package they played yesterday really helped. She's 15-0. They have continued to book her as a strong champion, and we've also gotten great matches during the run. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so
not at first.
She's establishing herself again at a different time than I thought it would. I thought she was just going to come in and crush it and just banger, but the reception was much different. But yeah, I enjoyed the match, and I've enjoyed this feud. And I think she's getting better at the character too.
Yep.
And so yeah, I'm down.
I just want to bring up this comment from the Great Brown Hope. Of course, Mercedes retained. Eye roll. Yeah. That's the point.
That's the reaction they want. Right
Exactly.
there, Great Brown Hope. You are feeding right into what they are selling because they want you to be pissed off that Mercedes keeps retaining. And we sat here on the pre-show and we talked about it, Tuck. We thought Statlander was going to walk away with the title. And now that she didn't, I'm kind of been more invested, and now I want to see Chris Statlander defeat Mercedes the next time they fight.
Yeah. Or if it's not going to be Statlander, then who's next? Now it's got to be another step up for Mercedes in another feud.
And the thing that makes it even better, like you said, the matches have been really good. But another thing, too, is like these matches that they are putting on with a lot of girls throughout the roster has been every single time we're like, oh, man, they should have flipped the title there because it was so close. It felt like it was right there, and then it was just taken away. And Mercedes, it's not being booked as like she's a juggernaut. She's barely escaping matches, which is even better. Like it's not early or early 2000s Cena kind of thing, late 2000s Cena, where it was a juggernaut that would not stop losing. 2010s. It's completely different, and that character is translating a little bit to the TV as well. So it's good. It's been really good.
Like I told you before the show, Ian, she's found her footing in AEW. This is Sasha Banks. Let's call it how it is. This is the Sasha Banks that we saw in WWE, just in a different name, just in a different company. You might not like her now just because she's in the company you don't like, but I hate to break it to you, it's still the same Mercedes Moné. You can like it, you can dislike it. That's all I got to say. But anything else, guys, from AEW Worlds End that you wanted to talk about?
Nothing from World's End. No.
I think I'm good, Tucky. I agree with you. I think it's solid B. Ian, what would you say?
Yeah, probably like that 86, 87 range. It was pretty good. We didn't talk about the main event. I mean, Will Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher was really, really good. That they delivered it again. But I'll go different because that's just the Will Ospreay match of the night because you can technically say that this time. We'll go Mercedes and Chris Statlander because I loved that match as well.
I did not like the main event.
I liked it. I didn't love it. I liked it, though.
It was, first off, it was predictable. We knew Moxley was going to
Correct.
win. And
Yes.
Predictability isn't always bad, but
Correct.
I didn't like the format of going out into the crowd. I feel like that disattaches some part of the audience because you can't see everything that's going on. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, Todd.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so anything else? Are we good to move on to what's happening next week?
Roll it.
Let's get into it then. Let's talk about the Raw Netflix debut happening live from the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles. I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe the Great Brown Hope will be in attendance for this show. And what a show it's going to be, guys. Obviously, if you're a diehard wrestling fan watching this right now, which, by the way, if you are and you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button because as you have seen on the ticker below, we are now only 28 subscribers away from 400. And Tucky, what are we going to give away once we hit 400? Take a look. It's right there. No, right there. Here we go. Signed Rey Mysterio figure. I mean, Hall of Famer. Why not? All you got to do is hit subscribe.
Sorted. Could be yours. Why not? And if you are subscribed, thanks.
Tell a friend to do it too.
This is a good question, Ian. Do we just say Raw and Chill now? Because you know how they said Netflix and Chill? You can just say Raw and Chill? Is that going to be a pickup line?
No comment.
I've tried it. I've tried many. Nope.
You want to go Raw and Chill? I don't know.
Oh, wait, hold on, Paul.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
I see where you're going with that.
No comment.
Look at the Great Brown Hope. He's not just going to Raw. He's going to New Year's Evil, too.
Yeah.
Have a what a start to the week.
That's one way to start it.
Reminiscent of our Thanksgiving weekend blender we did a few years ago. Remember Friday? It was SmackDown, War Games, Survivor Series, Raw, Dynamite.
Bill, I get why you said that because we know the Great Brown Hope loves Rey Mysterio. That's why Bill's saying he votes for him to win. But Bill actually has the most entries into the giveaway as of right now because he also purchased merchandise at the OnTheMarkWrestlingPodcast.com. So that's why he is leading in entries. But obviously, Tucky did Raw and Chill. He's a dad, yeah. He's not wrong.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
I don't think we have to worry about the stream, right? Because there's not going to be 200 million people.
It's not going to be those numbers. And
The NFL games did good.
the NFL games had a positive reception, I feel. So and they know, dude, they have put a lot into this Netflix marketing, and what this show could be. This is going to have its own playset in 20 years. And I'll like I've got the Raw 30-year anniversary one. And so free TV, dude. And this is why you continue to watch Raws. And I think we're in an era now where I remember that Raw, that thing happened. New Day turned on TV. We're getting some bigger moments with our weekly television.
Yeah, exactly. And man, this is a bold prediction, I think, but it would be awesome to see. Bill Moss says he predicts they pull 6 million streamers. I just hope he says I just hope they can pause and rewind the stream.
You know what? I was going to mention this. The only thing I'll mention about Dynamite this week with Max, because I did debut on Max this week. Overall, good stream. Yeah, it was really good. Overall, really good stream. The cameras felt better, and that was kind of like the reception on Twitter as well. But I was annoyed because it's not on the homepage when you log into Max. Like, everybody could see it. Oh, hey, AEW is live. You have to look up AEW. That's one giant step that's holding people back from watching. Sorry, that was my only thing, because that was actually an actual gripe for me.
If they hit 6 million, that would be 4 times the amount of people that watched last week's Monday Night Raw.
Yeah. I mean, they
Just
are
under
going to get
14.
the casual people just scrolling Netflix. I mean, that maybe accounts for 100,000 people, I guess we could say. And then you're going to have the people that don't watch religiously, that are casual viewers tuning in. And you still might have, obviously you're going to have the diehards. So I just don't see 6 million being possible. But I am excited because there's been a lot of hype for it. Like you said, plenty of ads going around hyping up this debut. One of those things, one of the reasons why I think a lot of people are going to be tuning in for the entirety of 2025 is the fact that my GOAT, John Cena's retirement tour officially begins this Monday in LA. And my question to you guys is this. What do you think his mission statement essentially is on Monday Night Raw? Is this just him maybe entering the Royal Rumble match? Or do you think they're going to dive right into a feud? Tuck, I'll go to you first.
I think he announces his participation in the Rumble, but along the way establishes a thing or two where one or two guys is kind of looking at him, and that can give us a feud within the Royal Rumble as well, which doesn't require Cena to win it to be somewhere at Mania. So I think there's a lot of options. I do think he'll declare, and I think we'll get something on the way. I don't think we'll get 4 full weeks of John Cena coming out talking about the Royal Rumble.
Agreed. Ian, what do you think about what John Cena is going to be doing next week?
Well, he's going to say hi, and I think if that's just the case, I'm all right with it. But I would kind of like him to do just kind of like a bucket list thing where he literally says, I have a bucket list I need to get to. I have some things I have to scratch off my ticket before I'm out of here. And, the Grand Slam champion and then break the record for WWE championships, something like that. Because I think there were some other ones with other actual, like, obviously the newer wrestlers coming in. He wants to scratch those off the list. You could do something like that. I'd be all right with.
Yeah, and he could revisit kind of like what Tony's saying here, because these are the last 2 guys to defeat John Cena, Austin Theory and Solo Sikoa. Obviously, Solo's going to be a little bit busy next week, so that I'm sure he's not going to go in that direction. But man, this is going to just be a crazy year. I don't know a word to describe it, because there's just so many different things happening throughout professional wrestling. But to me, and this is biased, but I think the number one thing that is going to bring people in is the fact that this is John Cena's final year. Every generation knows who John Cena is. You might love him, you might hate him, but you're going to tune in to watch him. And I just don't really care what he does. Like you said, Ian, if he just shows up and he's like, here we go. It's time. It's the retirement tour. Let's start it now. Open challenge or something like that. And Braun Breaker answers it. That would be fun. Like, I'm cool with that, but...
Yeah. As long as he shows off the door on the back of his shirt.
That was bad t-shirt design, huh, Tucky?
It's not my favorite.
Ooh, I don't hate this, though, from the Great Brown Hope. Gets called out by Carmelo Hayes. A young guy calling out John Cena would be nice.
Yeah, they could do that with Theory, too, and then maybe they could build a WrestleMania match.
Oh, they've never done that before, right?
No, maybe for U.S. title or something.
There's no way Theory would beat John Cena too, right?
No, not a shot.
That's another thing, Tuck. I just
What a
want to see
world.
John Cena win some. He hasn't won since 2018. We were on a podcast the last time John Cena won a match.
Sheesh.
Oh wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh God, I hate that.
Yeah, I hate it too. So, John, welcome back. I hope you have a happy, healthy, successful 2025, and let's fuck some shit up. That's all I got to say about the John Cena retirement tour.
Shout out, John.
Shout out John Cena following the podcast.
That's
by the
true.
way.
That is true.
He does follow the podcast.
His retirement tour will be popping large. You can guarantee it.
Maybe we can get him that T-shirt for his tour, and he'll wear it out.
Yeah, you can wear it out there.
Popping
All right.
Put over Ilya. Man, there's only a few people I want to see actually Cena put over. And no disrespect to Ilya, I love Ilya Dragunov, but I don't think he's the guy that deserves it. If anybody deserves it, I think it's Gunther.
I was going to say Gunther, yeah.
That has to happen. There's just so many possibilities with John Cena. We can talk about that another time because there's so much happening, so much scheduled, so much promoted for this show, including what is rumored to kick off Raw here on the Netflix debut. Tribal Combat, Solo Sikoa, the current Tribal Chief, not my Tribal Chief, versus the original Tribal Chief, the OTC Roman Reigns. And this is the first time, I believe, that these two are facing off in singles competition. I don't think it's going to be the last one, but then again, I could be wrong. Roman Reigns could go over here. I'm curious to see what you think about the possibility of maybe The Rock getting involved here. Is there something maybe brewing there between this? Is this now the time to ramp up that feud?
Oh man, now that you say that, I was gonna say I don't think they could really. If you're bringing in a new audience, this would be kind of like reading the entire Harry Potter books throughout it, and then inviting your audience in to read the last page of the last book.
Last chapter.
Yeah, and that's it, and then just ending it there. No, I mean yes, I want The Rock to be there, and then it's a no decision. You don't want to see a winner in this match at all.
Ooh. I didn't think about that.
That doesn't make any sense. If you have 1v1 Solo Sikoa, Roman Reigns, and then just be, okay, this is your winner. This is your guy for the year to the new audience.
I was just thinking that Roman gets a clean win over Solo, and then right after he wins, you hit the, if you smell, and then that's when you're not the Tribal Chief. I'm the Tribal Chief. Points at the fucking WrestleMania. It's not going to be up there.
And then just kicks Solo to the curb? That would be... That's my worry. Yeah, I would say...
I like what Solo's doing, though.
I would say no decision, and then have The Rock come out, or have The Rock come out, no decision, then we'll keep the story going. That's my hope.
Tony says, I'm crazy, but I'm actually really curious to see what happens to Solo in the new bloodline after this ends cleanly. I've been a fan of Tama Tonga's work, would hate to see him fade. And I don't think the new bloodline would fade. I think that the new bloodline can still be its own thing in like the mid-card, Tuck. Don't you think?
Yeah, I agree.
And you still got Jacob Fatu as well. Like, Jacob Fatu could face Roman Reigns right after this, Tuck. But who do you see actually being the winner in this one? Are we going to get a decision?
Yeah. I think it's going to be Roman. I hope it is.
You don't seem too confident, though.
No, like... I feel like they're going to make a statement. I feel like they're going to put it back on Roman, put Solo and them on the chase, cool it off for a second. I'm not sure. I want Roman to win because, man, if Solo becomes the head of the table, what does that say about Roman's run? Like, yeah. I don't know.
It wouldn't make much sense if Solo won here, but man, it would be a statement, wouldn't it, Ian? Solo Sikoa on the very first Raw on Netflix beating Roman Reigns.
If you're trying to build Solo Sikoa into the next generation's Roman Reigns, then you do it in front of this new audience on Netflix and just having him cleanly beat Roman Reigns. I'm more on the side of that. If you are willing to invest that much and he truly is your next guy, I want Solo Sikoa to beat Roman Reigns cleanly in the middle of the ring, more than I want to see Roman Reigns beat Solo.
I hear you, but like if you look in their own bloodline now, I think there's already a member in the new bloodline that's overshadowed Solo Sikoa, and I think Solo's just an afterthought now. I'm not taking anything away from Solo, but to me, Jacob Fatu is where the money's at.
I agree.
That's just me personally.
I agree.
Bill says Solo loses, then Rock walks in like Vader at the end of Jedi Fallen Order. You failed me, Oos. Rock bottom Solo. Yeah. That's one way of doing it. And Tony loved the analogy there. I'll say it right now, though. Never have seen Star Wars.
That's a thing.
Never have seen Harry Potter.
No, I'm with that. I haven't seen it either. I've seen one movie.
Tuck, you a Harry Potter guy?
Nope.
Wow, I did not expect that.
Not a Harry Potter podcast.
No, not Harry Potter. Yeah, so we're all going with Roman Reigns then to win this tribal combat, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Final
Nope.
question, Tuck. Yes or no, The Rock shows up?
Yes.
The Rock shows up, yes or no, Ian?
I hope so, yes. But also, you put me under Roman winning. I want Solo to win.
That's fine. We don't have a Google Doc
Okay.
or anything like that, so I just assumed. That's on me. Great Brown Hope said maybe that's why Rock hasn't shown up, saving his appearance for Raw. A lot of returns.
He wants to come into Raw.
appearances. Yeah, and maybe he just wants to see the Great Brown Hope. That might be motivation in itself.
Good point.
Hey, I might just return there. You know, one of the best bloggers in the world's out there. But speaking of the Great Brown Hope, his best friend Rey Mysterio is going to be having a match against those dastardly bastards, the New Day, and there's a mystery partner. And it's pretty interesting because there's been a lot of vignettes the past couple weeks talking about a guy that has no fear, if you know what I'm saying. Tuck, I think this is the setup for Pentagon making his debut in the WWE. Do you think we see that next week?
I think it makes sense. It gives the New Day something and something exciting and new. And it gives something to Pentagon, who might not have anything at the moment, because when is Rey Fenix going to come in?
Just
Ian,
don't
do you
put him in
think they should
LWO.
wait until they can debut him as a package?
Yes, I don't want to see Pentagon here. A couple things I am kind of worried about if that did happen. They're not losing the match. They're beating New Day. And you have a hot... I love what they're doing with New Day. I love this heel side of New Day.
So hot right now.
Oh, fucking hot. But don't have them lose right away, because I want this New Day to actually be dominant, because I think they really have something here. And again, like you said, that's going to feel even weirder to the people that don't know Penta and Rey Fenix as a tag team when they eventually do become a tag team. And also, this is just feeding into that whole thing where they gave it WWE shit for, oh, just feed them to the LWO if they're of any Mexican descent or anything. Again, that is, it kind of is annoying, but
Triple H does that a lot.
yeah.
He just
But-
puts you into your little demographic. And I don't think that's the smart move either. I wouldn't debut Penta here. I would just save Penta for the Royal Rumble. That's
Correct.
where a lot of greats have, debuted. Look at AJ Styles. Everybody remembers when he debuted at the Royal Rumble. I think you get that same reaction. But then again, I don't know who would be the mystery partner unless it's just Dragon Lee. But that's not like you don't advertise a mystery partner on the Raw Netflix debut unless it's a big name.
I mean, Dragon Lee, he is the future. Like,
is.
ultimately, he is the future of WWE, especially he's the next Rey Mysterio. And stereotypes all aside, but like, he's really that good. Has he been injured? I honestly don't know.
No, he's been backstage. He just hasn't been wrestling. So that's
Okay.
why I'm like confused why it would be a mystery if it's not Penta.
Okay.
'Cause I agree with you. I don't want Penta to debut because I don't want New Day to lose. But speaking of the New Day, Tuck, I don't even think we've actually like just sat down and talked about it. The progression of this New Day heel turn. They even got Mama Kofi involved, and she ain't having anything. Like, that's when you know you fucked up.
Yeah, it's been interesting. I don't have much more to add.
That's fair enough. Have you've been watching, right? You've been keeping up
Yeah.
with the product, right? Okay.
Yeah, I've been checking in. Yeah.
I didn't know if you weren't being a mark this week because we're always
Oh.
on the mark.
Oh no, I'm still with it.
Fair enough. How's Augie doing, by the way?
Better. His fever's breaking, so yeah, he's the man, dude. 11 months already, dude.
Damn.
Oh my God.
27 days away from turning 1 year old. It has been a wild ride.
Wait, is it the day before the Royal Rumble?
Couple days. Yeah,
2 days.
the 29th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a hell of a
3 days.
weekend. We got
Oh,
Augie's
no.
first birthday, and then we got CVV. We're going to see CVV on Friday.
Yeah.
And then we got the Royal Rumble on Saturday.
Yeah, and the lottery, the Royal Rumble lottery, the annual 4th annual.
yeah.
I mean, we're
Guys, we are only, less than 30 days away from the Royal Rumble. So don't forget, every Rumble, we do 2 different lotteries. So you're going to throw your name into a hat. You're going to get randomly selected. If your number wins the Royal Rumble, you take all the money. And we usually do, what, $10, $20 a Rumble?
Well, I would say let's just say the more people that we get, it's probably going to be around 20, but
10.
the more people we get, you could go down. So the more, if
We
we
can
get
go
a
to
lot of
10 if we
people,
get a lot.
yeah, we go lower.
Let's get a lot, guys. If you want to gamble with gags, see what I did there? Then you can enter our Royal Rumble lottery. That'll cap
10 is like the perfect number because then you get 3 picks. You could do 15 and get 2 picks.
See, we'll be able to get 10. So maybe we'll do that. Or we do 20. Or no, 15 like you were saying. That would make more sense.
Yeah, 20 would be awkward.
15. Let's shoot for 15 because look at there's a lot of interest in the
Well,
chat
hey,
right now.
we
Who wants
can,
to gamble?
We can send out a spreadsheet, a suite of options. You could put $20 in the half and half, where you either get odds or evens. One half kind of you would just double your money. There's a lot of different options you can do with Rumble lotteries. So
It's the most wonderful time of the year for us wrestling fans. When it turns to a new year, we're like, all right, here we go. Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, let's have some fun. And then we're talking about SummerSlam.
And shout out to Augie for delaying his presence last year because he allowed me to watch the Royal Rumble and then he was born.
That's
great.
funny.
It's a good man.
Tim, fun fact, Gambling with Gags used to be a live show on my old network. So it was a show name for sure.
And it was a BDSM podcast, so you were correct there as well.
I'm
lot of
old.
right.
What does that stand for? What does that stand for?
It's naughty.
Oh,
Naughty
okay.
things.
See? I'm an angel. I'm a Catholic boy.
Yeah.
That was for my mom if she was watching. Go Jesus. Jey Uso versus Drew McIntyre. It seems like Drew McIntyre is just going to go after everybody in the Bloodline Tuck. He just beat Sami Zayn. I'm assuming he's going to beat Jey Uso here too, right? Like, he's on a warpath right now.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense for him to lose, and Jey Uso doesn't need a win to be yeeting everybody all of the time. Drew McIntyre is going to get the win.
Ian, anything else you'd like to add?
Drew McIntyre gets a win. Yeah, I like what they're doing with him, and they're keeping him off. They're really feeding into his advertising by keeping him off advertising. I love it.
Dude, I'm telling you, when I mentioned, I think it was last week to Tuck, the whole narrative of The Rock paying off Drew McIntyre to be the hitman for the Bloodline. Could you imagine if we got that payoff here next week?
I saw somebody fantasy book. It was Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, and Braun Breaker getting together and being the hitman. Don't know how Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker reunite, but that would be badass if they became a hitman crew.
And I tell you what, the Great Brown Hope and Bill Moss have been calling this shot, so they're going to keep calling it. Gallus debuts, they stomp out Jay and Sammy, and Bill Moss says Jay wins via DQ with Gallus debuting. So a lot of people are ready for that Gallus call up, but for me personally, and I'm going to have to direct this towards Tuck, because Tuck, you've seen more NXT, I don't get the appeal and the excitement out of Gallus like the rest of our listeners seem to get.
I don't think that's big enough for the Netflix debut.
No.
Is it?
No. Not to me.
Yeah.
But to them, it might be.
Yeah.
You know?
It does not wet my whistle.
Does it wet your whistle, Ian?
I'm going to be honest. I don't watch NXT.
How wet
and
are you?
I'm drier than a bone. I have no idea who Gallus is still. So it's being completely honest. Not wet.
There's been so many clippable, just one-liners in this episode. Somebody's got to get on the screen record because there's some good ones. Bill Moss said if y'all don't watch NXT UK, you get the hype of Gallus. I did watch it, Bill. Still don't see it. I'm sorry, bud. It's just not for me. It would make sense, though, if they paired it with Drew. I will give you guys that. I totally see the vision with that.
I don't want Drew to have backup. He is so good on his own. It doesn't make sense. It would kind of be like a Karrion Kross situation where it's like he's got two beefy guys behind him now, but he could talk shit on his own.
Doing, though.
I do now. Yes, correct. I do now. But initially, when don't worry about it. When Karrion Kross did his new thing with the faction, I hated it, but won me over now.
Better now. I've also been watching Scarlett and Shotzi's House of Horrors YouTube series. Tuck, I feel like you would like that. You're a spooky boy.
Ooh, yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Paranormal. Yeah.
They go to like
Yeah.
haunted like places and
Yeah.
stuff. Ooh.
Yeah, I think you
I
would
might,
like it.
I could. Is there a number of episodes? Mista might be into
Yeah,
that.
you'd
She's
probably
into
be able to
fun
binge
things.
it. They just did an hour episode at the haunted, or there's like a haunted
Honda.
hotel in an abandoned city near
Oh.
you. I think it was too. I think it was in
Hey,
Nevada.
shout out to my niece Mackenzie. On the phone the other day, let me know that she is a big fan of Rhea Ripley.
Ah,
Aren't we all?
who is it?
Oh yeah, she was
get in
sad
line.
that Rhea Ripley's in the hospital because they hit her with a baseball bat. That she was in the hospital on Christmas or New Year's, like wasn't going to be able to party. So
But it seems like mommy's
She's a
doing okay
believer.
now because
Oh.
she's got herself a world title match on the Netflix debut. And thankfully, well, I shouldn't even say that because we don't know if it's going to end. I do believe if this is going to be the finish for this feud. No more Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. And that's not taking anything away from these two very talented women. We just don't need to see it anymore. So with that being said, guys, I think we're finally getting a new champion because it makes a lot more sense for Rhea Ripley to be champion going into WrestleMania. Mommy's always on top. Give me a new women's champion here on Monday Night Raw. What about you, Tuck?
I think it makes a statement. I think the people want it. I think it gets the people going. I think Rhea Ripley wins, puts the stamp on this, heads towards WrestleMania. And with Rhea Ripley, it's like you're going to get a good match. You know, put her up against whoever. And there's a lot of great candidates. So I'm excited for the match. I think I'll be disappointed if Liv Morgan wins.
I think a lot of people would be disappointed, Ian, if Liv Morgan found a way to retain here.
No, I think we are on the right track, though. I think it is going to be the end. Hopefully. But they did point it out a lot in their little promo battle they had this past Monday, which was really good. I mean, it was all vignette and cinematic kind of promo battle, but it was a good solid 3 minutes of them going back and forth, and it was, we need to end this. This is over. This is the last time I'm ever dealing with you. Then they made it very clear. Like I said, there was kind of that glaring the issue that everybody knows that literally the entire year last year, we were going through this feud. So we're leaking into 2025 now.
That feud is the reason Liv Morgan won the OTME for Women's Superstar of the Year. So I guess she's got that going for her. But
She's pretty good.
yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a good match. Don't get me wrong. But I think we just need to pivot in other directions. Everybody needs to move on, including just the Judgment Day as a whole with Damian Priest as well. I think Damian Priest could benefit by going over to SmackDown. I could talk about that for hours. But, yeah, anything else you guys want to add, though, about this women's title match?
Ready for it to be over.
A fucking man. Chuck, anything?
Nope.
Took the words out of your mouth?
Yeah, well, cool.
Cool. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Rhea greater than Liv unless they want... Oh, that's a name that could appear here. Becky Lynch. You think we see her, maybe?
Charlotte Flair. It's going to be the same thing again. It's going to be Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair again after an injury.
Fine.
Yep. Just
That's
don't get hurt this
fine.
time, Flair. This is your second chance now.
Flair?
What?
You're like,
did
don't
you
get hurt
yell?
now, Flair.
Yeah. Hey, he is going back for one match, is what he said.
No, Rick, don't do it. We almost saw you die in Nashville.
We did.
Fuck, you were there.
Yeah, he had 2 heart attacks, bro.
I had a heart attack watching that match.
Oh yeah.
We got one more match to talk about, though, and this is definitely main event worthy. This is a feud that, has been going on for a couple of years, and it goes all the way back to when CM Punk ended up leaving the WWE, and Seth frickin' Rollins basically put the company on his back alongside other people, for the decade that he was gone from the WWE. And here we are. This match probably was going to happen at WrestleMania 40. Obviously did not happen due to injury. So we're doing it again here. Netflix debut. Big time feel in this one, Tucky. And I'm going to give you the floor first because I don't know which direction this match is going to go. I just know I'm very excited to see it.
Yeah. It is funny to have a card with Roman Reigns on it that is not your central focus, which has been commonplace for years now, where I think Roman and Solo opened the show like we've discussed, and with this being the closer, that promo in the main event segment of Raw really makes you want to see these two fight about it. And I also don't know who I think will win. I think if I have to pick, I mean, I'm going to pick. If I was a betting man, I would bet on CM Punk.
Interesting. I wonder what like the odds are too. I wonder if anybody could like find
Oh,
that.
gosh.
If anybody has a betting site.
I just
Tough to
talked. I'll look.
But
This is
Ian,
gonna be like-
I'm conflicted, and I know you're probably reading the comments as long as I am. They're kind of swaying me in a different direction. But how do you feel about this one?
Okay, first off, I am really excited for this. I am an anti-CM Punk guy now. After the entire shit went down, I see shit on both sides. But that has nothing to do with actual wrestling, so we'll move on. Their promo battle Monday night it won me over. Like, it was fucking... for a fact before they went out the curtain, they said, lay it all out there. I'm going to take it to the chin as long as you fire back. Good. They delivered. This is one of those times in wrestling where it's, like you said, it could go either way. I mean, and they've done it so well, too, because this is a genuine, like, hatred blood feud. And we don't even know if it's real life kind of hatred or if they're just that professional that
that's the beauty of
willing
it
to work
all,
it out.
Ian.
Exactly.
I think that's why so many people are invested in it. So many people besides Bill Moss, I want to add. I saw the comment. That's okay.
I won't speak for Bill Moss. I am very invested in it. I love it. I would like to see Seth Rollins win, but like I said, if I'm bet man, put my money on CM Punk because I think Seth Rollins' heel turn is coming. This is just going to build to that, but I would love to see Seth Rollins win, but that's just the deepest part in me. But CM Punk wins.
You guys are saying it. I mean, that's the only way that Seth Rollins is really going to go over the edge is if he has defeat here on arguably the biggest stage of the year. This is going to be a big show here on Netflix. So I think him losing to CM Punk is just going to start a spiral of sorts for Seth Rollins. And similar to what I think Tony and Tim mentioned in the comment section, Seth's got to eliminate CM Punk from the Royal Rumble. That's how he's going to get his lick back. Then you could set up maybe a chamber match, have Seth cost Punk the title again, and then you have that match at WrestleMania. That's how I see it going. I know there's a lot of people that still believe that CM Punk could face a Roman Reigns. I just don't know if I want to see that at WrestleMania this year, guys. I don't know how you would feel about CM Punk versus Roman.
I don't need it.
Don't need it right now, no. If the bloodline, for some reason, train falls off the train tracks, and I mean, it hasn't yet, I'm still very invested in the bloodline story, so there's no reason for it. I think, like you said, I mean, you and Tim Vicious said, shout out Tim Vicious, he said the same thing. I think if they go along that journey path, it will build what they wanted at WrestleMania last year.
Yeah, and I hope there's blood, too. I know it's a weird thing to say, but I think this is a feud that definitely warrants blood. I mean, and you talked about that promo, Ian. I've been watching wrestling since 2011. That might have been a top 5 promo for me of all time.
Yeah, it was scathing both ways. Good. It just felt raw. Monday Night Raw.
So overall excitement levels, Tuck, 1 through 10. Where are you sitting at for Raw this next week?
10. Very excited. Monday night, nothing going after school. First day back from break. You know what I mean? Augie, me, Mr. The couch. Come on now.
And like the Great Brown Hope said, it isn't going to be a technical classic by any means, Ian. Those guys are going to scrap.
Yeah.
How excited are you for this show?
I'd give it a 10 as well. I mean, how can you not? This is the next generation of wrestling. This is going to start off a generation of wrestling.
Era.
Yeah, a new era that's going to last a long time. I mean, even if you're not a WWE fan per se, like, you have to be excited for this because, I mean, everything in professional wrestling this year is going to take off.
This could change the way we view professional wrestling.
Amen.
Like, I think it was Tim, and correct me, Chad, if I'm wrong. Tim earlier mentioned the fact that by 2030, he thinks all wrestling will just be on streaming, and he's probably right.
They're really close to it. Even
It's
TNA.
just one step away, and then AEW takes that step to HBO, and then that maybe can, evolve into something else. So very, very exciting times here in professional wrestling. Tim Vicious, I can't disagree with you. He said definitely the best promo of 2025 so far. No doubt about it. Tony's sitting at a 10. not just the matches, the potential returns, but excited to see how the layout of Raw on Netflix looks. And also, guys, I don't know how familiar you are with the Intuit Dome. Very interactive, high tech, a lot of lights. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that Intuit Dome has been abused by everybody these past year ever since it's been built. Everybody
trying
is.
to get in there.
Oh yeah. It's really cool. It's a really cool stadium.
So the Intuit Dome is basically a whore, we could say. But hey, it's going to be a great show because everybody's trying to get into it. No, that didn't make sense.
Well, yeah, we're going Raw into it now.
Fair enough. So here we are, the first episode of 2025, episode 228, and we got to decide who is going to start off 2025 as the MVM. Last week, we had a surprise winner in Juggernaut. Love when he stops by in the
Boy
chat.
Jug.
He was not able to make it tonight, or he just wasn't commenting tonight. That is fine. But Tucky, it was highly contested chat this evening, and I'm a little conflicted. I'm not going to lie.
2025 is off to a hot start. Shout out to the OTM community.
Indeed. So, Ian, you know what? I'm gonna announce it. I was gonna have you announce it, but
Okay.
I think I'm gonna make an executive decision on this one because we have an new MVM of the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast. It's the 8-time MVM, the Great Brown Hope, who is also gonna be at Raw. So it's only fitting.
That's a good point. Bill Moss also said, "If it's not me, I'll riot." Well, I could show you my text message to the group, but we'll leave that for another day.
Are you telling people that you voted for Bill Moss?
I did, yeah. I said, give me the hot sauce.
You did, but hey, this is a 3-man show, so Tucky didn't know who was going to be. We went with the Great Brown Hope. We're just going to go with the Great Brown Hope. Well, where's my pitch for it? You know what, Bill? I'll extend an invite for you to be a guest on our podcast as a consolation prize if you want, because I know Bill Moss is a big NXT guy, so maybe we could talk New Year's Evil. I don't know, Bill. Just reach out. We can get something going here. But, fellas, it was a pleasure getting together once again to talk some wrestling. 2025 is going to be an outstanding year. But don't forget, before we go, guys, we are 28 subscribers away from 400 on YouTube. So be a friend, tell a friend that OTM is where it is at every single Thursday. And you have the chance to win a signed Rey Mysterio Elite figure. And if you want to gain additional entries, head on over to the OnTheMarkWrestlingPodcast.com. No promo code this week, but maybe we'll have a promo code next week for Monday Night Raw. So go there, purchase some merch, show proof of purchase, and you will gain 5 additional entries. Also, guys, don't forget to check out all the great things happening at the Main Event Wrestling Network. At mainevent_net is where you're going to find all that great content. Tucky, why don't you send us home?
Boys, the excitement is a brewing, and as Gag said, 2025 is going to be electric. Next week, I'm back to school, so looking at a 7:30 Central start. 7:30.
Next week, Notre Dame plays at 7:30, so you might not even look at a show next week.
Okay, all right.
I was going to say I'll be in Michigan all next week, so that would have been really awkward.
Guys, we're off next week.
Taking a break.
See you in 2 weeks.
Damn, no, it's kind of depressing. Maybe we could do one on Wednesday.
I mean, I'll have a bad mic, but I'll be there.
I'm available Wednesday.
Follow us at Pod on the Mark. We will update you, but there is a chance there won't be a show next week. That's all I'll say.
And if not, enjoy the debut on Raw the next 2 weeks if we don't see you.
And New Year's Evil happening next Tuesday.
Plenty of good to talk about. So until next week or the week after that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast.